Joseph Bonanno was the only man that achieved what we call global power.
He orchestrated the largest takeover of American industry, banking, insurance, and then the government that's ever been perpetrated on the American public. They were above the law and became a sub-government within our government.
Believe whatever you want to believe, but if there's anybody in this country has thought about voter fraud or are we really voting these people in, no, you're not. What we have is they took us over. Joseph Bonanno was born in Castellammare Del Golfo, Sicily on May 18, 1905. In 1924, he arrived to the United States as the king. He was raised to do what he did. So in a way, you really can't fault Joseph Bonanno himself. He was raised to do what he did. He was trained as a child to understand this is his way of life.
He was the boss of bosses and the super boss. There may have been other bosses, but he was the super boss.
When you're looking at Joe Bonanno, you got to look at the Bonannos as a whole. There's been Bonannos in control of things for 2,500 years. The Tower of Pisa, just off the cuff, is made by Bonanno. The Castellammare Wars. Okay, it's supposed to have been over a guy named Joe the Boss Masseria from 1927 to 1931, but they ended with the death of Joe Masseria, which is Lucky Luciano was supposed to kill him. And then Lucky Luciano killed Maranzano because Maranzano was supposed to kill them. Now, that's a generic story. But in reality, the Castellammare Wars was a staged war. What they wanted you to believe is the Mangano family, the Profassi family, the Gagliano family, the Bonanno family, and of all, the Luciano family was supposed to be the head, were the original five families.
Joseph Bonanno was the only one that made the final decisions on anything in that time frame, from the 30s till the 80s. And he was also very good at letting the other sides go into war, and then he would step up as a peacemaker at the end of it, when in fact, that made him the winner of the war.
Why the Castellammare Wars was important is because they took control of not only of the mafioso, but taking control of the mafioso and the 5-point gangs of New York was taking control of the 65-point cities that were already in place as far as the mafioso chain, the Black Hands, what they called it in the 1900s. Same Black Hand killed Abraham Lincoln. It killed Garfield. It killed McKinley. From 1865 to 1900, if you'll look at your President of the United States, 4 out of 5 got assassinated because they wouldn't play the game.
They were instrumental in the Depression that would subdue the populace and get them ready to bend to the new deal that they were getting ready to give them.
They already had their president in line. In 1931, when they had their first day boys meeting, which is exactly what it was called. The Cosa Nostra's first day boys meeting, Capone was there. Trafficante of Florida, Marcello of New Orleans, some of the names you have heard. Out California, Cohen family, the Cohn family, the Milano family. I could go, the Balistre family, the Kennedy family. Joseph Kennedy was there personally. So you have your political machine here. They had their man out of New York named Franklin Delano Roosevelt to go into presidency in 1933. He offered America a New Deal. And the way the chamber room, the Castellammare, figured it, if they're hurting financially and you come in and be their savior, they're going to worship you forever. The main 3 points of FDR's presidency was Bank of America. Control the money, you're in control. Transamerica Insurance, control the insurance of the money, you're in more control. FDR himself and his government, the New Deal, was placed there by the Castellammare Council. This commissioned first-day boys called Cosa Nostra. There was a placement of the banking system, which the key is they closed 4,183 banks, approximately, I'll say, and they shut them down for 3 days. In every one of them banks, there was money, and there was no really need to shut them down, but they shut them completely down because America had been fooled and given a parlato la morte, a lie till you die. Bottom line, they opened up one bank, Bank of America. Now, in the 50s, there are certain things happen, especially in 1954, that I'll singular out. In December 16, 1954, a guy named Prince Bernard, who just passed away last year, formed an organization called the Bilderbergs that are the top 300 banking families of our world. This Bilderberg agency is still in formation. They work through the International Monetary Fund, which also has another division called World Bank. The main bank of it all is the Bank of America. The Vatican. Transamerica Company was financed by the Vatican Bank. A.P. Gianni was financed by Cardinal Marmoni, who headed the Vatican Bank at the time, and completely financed this Transamerica Insurance, which was Bank of America, which was Trans World Airline, Transamerica Cable, the whole 9 yards. What I'm telling you about the Vatican Bank and the Puglia and the Bank of America and the systems of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank all being under one organization that meet under this organization called the Bilderbergs. It's of the trillion-dollar drug empire that we don't even talk about and haven't talked about that this 1954 switching of the ends was all about. And let's go back to that. He switched his name from Joe Bonanno, B-O-N-A-N-N-O, to an American citizenship that read Joe Bonanno, B-O-N-N-A-N-O. That would make his Social Security number different also. So he gets a whole clean slate to be anything he wants to be. While that's happening, his Bilderberg formation. He goes over to Sicily in 1956, 10 days before Albert Anastasia's gunned down, from this meeting at the Grand Palm Hotel. It was about taking over 90% of the drug trade. Bonannos controlled 90%. They gave 2.5% to the other four families, Genoveses, Colombos, Gambinos, and Lucchese's. What happened in this meeting at Grand Palmy is the Bonannos took the drug trade over. And they formulated a company called the Permandex, which is their big takeover.
Designed by Joseph Bonanno, the Permandex had 5 divisions to control all international business interests. The Solidarists, who were exiled Middle Eastern and Russian leaders. The American Council of Christian Churches. The Free Cuba Committee, consisting of exiled Cuban Goodfellas. The International Gambling Syndicate. And the Security Division of NASA, headed by Werner von Braun. From the Castellammare War to the Bonanno Wars to the assassination of JFK, that time frame has not been accurately portrayed in history.
I think our American public, the reason we're all so, I guess, naive, and the reason the world is the way it is, because we don't know this truth.
Once we see the truth, we'll be able to discern how exactly it did happen and what we can do to prevent it from happening in the future.
All I can say to anyone is open your eyes, open your heart, look and ask yourself, what good would it be to know what's above our society is not for you, but we can change it.